What is up, everyone? This is Austin, aka Try Something, owner of Fastest Transition. We are going to talk about pelvic tilts today, and I want to make sure that you get a basic understanding of some of the most common anterior pelvic tilts and some common signs to watch out for, because not understanding your pelvic tilt can cause torn quads, lower back pain, all sorts of issues. So let's just jump right into it. First off, I want to talk about, imagine someone standing from the side and their hips, if their lat from here to here is tight, right? That means that muscle right there that connects from your labrum to the bottom of your humerus and ends up coming off the back, because that's your latissimus dorsi, right? And that means wide in Latin. And basically, when that wide muscle is shortened, whenever I pick up my hands like this, I just took all the slack out of the lat, right? And so its origin is going to be right down here where it connects into the lumbar and also the top of the hip a little bit. It's actually going to pull up on the back of my back, causing my lower back to arch, right? Especially if I don't have a strong core, it's hard to combat that. So lengthening the lats will actually make it so you don't have to have as strong of a core, even though the stronger the core, the better. But it's definitely going to make it easier to hold correct pelvic tilt. This is anterior pelvic tilt. This is posterior pelvic tilt. If I'm swimming and I'm standing like this, right? Imagine I'm standing or I'm swimming and I can't engage my core, right? Because my lats are too tight. That's going to cause a huge issue. Also, working on the lower abdominals is going to really help as well. But also having really strong glutes. Because if you were to go like this and go into a posterior pelvic tilt, what I had to do was squeeze that glute right here and squeeze that glute. And then also, another issue that we see a lot, just coaches in general, triathlon coaches, swim coaches especially, is that when you're kicking, in the pool and you're swimming and you're fully extended, you need to engage your core and need to engage your glutes. But sometimes it's really difficult to hold it if your quads are too tight or your lats are too tight. So the quads, they connect right here and they also connect down here. There's 4 quad muscles, right? You have the rectus femoris, vastus lateralis, vastus medialis oblique, and vastus intermedialis. So if the most dominant one that connects to that hip crest and it goes down the body and connects just above the knee and turns into the patellar tendon, when that happens, that short, it pulls the hip down, right? Because obviously when you're standing, it's not going to pull your knee up. So it pulls that down. So imagine my quads are tight, my lats are tight, so it's pulling this back of my pelvis up, the quads are pulling the front of my pelvis down, I have a weak lower abs, and I have weak butt. And I'm just stuck like this when I'm swimming like this. All of a sudden you get a ton of back pain. You wonder why you have back pain. That's it. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about a couple things we can do in order to make sure we stretch our lats, stretch our quads, strengthen our glutes, strengthen our lower abs, and that'll go a long way into helping. First off, I'm going to turn this on so that you can see the arch in my back. Tuck in my shirt. So if I do lower abs and I'm right here, my back discs are being pinched. What we need to do is we need to suck it down, lay all the way back down, and do our kick drills there. Eventually, we want to be able to do our kick drills all the way down at the floor without us losing our back, right? And if you're ever doing these drills and your back begins to arch, that means you've gone too far. You need to kick higher up, build some strength before you can start working your way down. Also, stretching your lats. It's going to be really important to get length out of those. Sink all the way down, back up. All the way down, back up. You can almost pretend you're going to glide on one arm. Glide on the other arm. All right, so that's strengthening the lower abs, lengthening the lats. Next, we're going to talk about stretching the quads. Put one foot through, and we're actually going to go into a half kneel with this back foot slightly elevated. I'm not sure if you can see that. There we go. And we're going to be here, and we're going to focus on bringing our navel in, engaging our core, squeezing our glutes, and driving our hips forward. We don't want to arch the back. We want to try to keep the spine as neutral or even a little bit posterior. All right, finally, we're going to talk about strengthening the glutes. The glutes, you can do with standard bridges. There are a lot of variations that we can do with the straight leg because it's a little bit more functional, but this will get us started. Just holding, bringing up one leg. It's a lot of different glute variations. And so on. So if you just remember pelvic tilt and remember that it's very important to go a little bit more posterior pelvic tilt because most of the time people are going to be stuck in an anterior pelvic tilt. So if you understand that logic and you understand the things that are going to elicit change, then you're one step closer to being injury-free and increasing the speed in your swimming, whether that be in triathlon or you're just, doing it for, lifestyle. So give it a go. Tell me what you think. And, until next time, later.